Hi guys, welcome back to another Get Ready With Me. Thank you for joining me today. So, as I've just said in my first Get Ready With Me that went out, I'm not saying no to live streams, I'm just saying no right now. I just want to get back on track with my health. And we're going back to the very old school Get Ready With Me's that I used to do. So I'm not too sure when I'm going to be doing another live stream. I'm really sorry about that. If you don't like it, I completely understand you not wanting to stick around my channel, because I know a lot of you guys really did like the live streams and I like doing them. I'm just, like, at the moment when I do longer form content Get Ready With Me's, I can pause it, like when I need a drink, and then I know I can drink a drink in live streams. But if my throat's really bad like it has been, I can pause it and come back to it later. So that's where we're at the moment. Anyway, let's get into this video. Do I want to... Yeah, let's put my hair back a bit. Just like that. Right, let's go in with a Skin Glow Eye Serum. Looks like that. I mean, what do you think of longer form content? Are you a fan of it? Or would you prefer a live stream? You can leave it in the comments down below, because I genuinely am interested on your thoughts, guys. I know I watch longer form content, Get Ready With Me's, but not everyone does. I completely understand that. Going in with, not that one, where is it? Oh, here. I was going to go in with a night cream. Now we're going in with the Nivea Q10 Anti-Wrinkle Sensitive Firming Day Cream. You get 50ml in this, by the way, guys. And you can see I've used quite a bit of it. So what I tend to do is use, like, put a bit in my hand, and the remaining will go on my face. And then we put some serum in the hand as well. So the ordinary niacinamide 10% plus zinc of 1%. Put a drop or a drop and a half of this into the hand. A drop will do. Just because I want to use it up. So I'm doing this, I think it's 7 PM as I'm doing this. I've not long got back from my mum's, and then I'm going back in a minute for Sunday dinner as well. I'm having a bit of a breakout situation. I don't know whether that's hormonal. This is a new one, and then these here aren't new at all. Could be hormonal, could be skincare related, but I've used this skincare for a while, so I very much doubt it. This one's nearly all gone, it's down here. Don't much use serums. I say I don't much use serums, and I've got 2 serums that I'm working on. Would I buy this one again? No. I'm not saying it's not good, I'm just saying, like, for me, I would prefer using something like this. This is so cool. It's got these little balls on it. But I've not been using it just purely because I got a spotty situation. I think they were bites, not spot, like just under my eyes in the summer. So I've not been using it recently, but I will go back to it come fall. Fall's 3 weeks away, so I'm really getting the fall vibe at the moment. As you'll be able to see from the Get Ready With Me that went up yesterday as I'm filming this. So... or it could be like, I might actually put my skincare empties up before I put this video up. So just bear that in mind. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do yet. Right, I've got a whole basket full of tricks here. I'm going to put this eyeshadow in here though. It's only for now. The Coastal Coral and the Baby Got Peach. I've already used it for when I did the fall look. So I don't need those as of yet. There are a lot of things that I do need to be using. We've got one empty in here. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use the Baby Got Peach. So we'll put that back. I'm going to put some of these back because I don't know if I'm going to be using them. Anyway, for now, for the first thing I tend to go in with is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. So let's pop a bit of this on. Oh, it's so close to being empty, guys. I have to roll it up now. Ooh. Popped out quite a bit there then. Oh, the dogs are barking over the road. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of window in here. So we're very close. I bet in a week it'll be gone. And then I'll have to pull out another poreless primer. I'm sure I've got one. Because I like to use a poreless primer and also a radiant primer. Just for the glow for underneath my foundation. Right, so that's that. And then I tend to go in with, not always, but I tend to go in with the Becca Undereye Corrector. And again, there really isn't much left here, so go in with a ring finger. This is going to be done in a few days. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of empties this month. Not a lot, just more than normal. I don't normally have makeup empties. And I've yet to show them. I've got like 6 months makeup empties. I think this is going to be done today. Can I get the rest out of a brush? Because can you see how there's nothing there? There's bits that I might be able to use with a brush. So let me go and find one. Okay, so let's try it with this one. Let's see what comes out. Yeah, it's done. Woohoo, another empty. Wowzers. Right, so that's done. I don't think I'm going to go out and get another under eye corrector just as yet. So I'll put that in the box though, because I have used that and I'll need to put everything down in the description. So don't forget to check out the description. And I also do timestamps as well. Well, at the moment, I'm not putting all the makeup in, I'm just putting what I've used. Like I'll put foundation at this point. Say foundation's at 5 minutes, I'll put foundation, and then you can go and see what foundation I've used. But if you're watching the whole entire thing, you can just go back to the description later on. So that's that. So the foundation I'm going to use, I was going to use that one again. I used that the other day. The Primark PS My Perfect Colour Illuminating Foundation. It's not in ProjectPan. We're about halfway done with it. Maybe I should put it in a project. So I'm going to go in with the one that is in ProjectPan. It's the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. It's in the That's Expensive ProjectPan. So I'm just going to use this one, guys. And I did want to use it with a makeup brush, but the brushes that I washed yesterday, no, the brushes that I washed the day before yesterday still aren't fully dry. So what I'll do, I'll put it on with the fingers. Oh, I haven't put a glowy product on. I'll try and get my highlighter stick on underneath. Right, so my highlighter stick is the New Look Glow Highlighter Stick in Gold. Where we're going to put this now, because I do want some glow. I think that's just going to have to do it. Then I'm going to go in with the Face Facts Vitamin C Facial Mist. We're coming to the end of this as well. And we're just going to blend out. and you'll have to excuse my bangle. I should have really taken it off. I'll start to take it off because I can imagine that would be quite annoying. Some people like ASMR. Me personally, I don't. Now, I don't think I'm going to use warm blushes today because I'm doing a green eyeshadow look. We'll use more cool blushes, I think. I mean, I think I could get away with warm blushes. I've got foundation in my hair, but it's going to get washed tomorrow anyway. And hopefully when I take my fringe down, you won't actually see that. In the UK, a good series is starting today based on a true story. It's called I Fought the Law. And an amazing actress called Sheridan Smith is starring in it. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I just need to check that's all blended out. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, let's get some concealer on. So I'm going to go in with the Glossier Stretch Concealer in G12. It's in ProjectPan. We're not doing as good with this one as I did with the Becca, but I started the Becca one, you know, a lot quicker. And I don't know if there's more product in this. I wonder if we can compare in a minute. And I take it up to the lids because can you see, like, I take it up to the lids because you can see all that purple veinage, which isn't pretty. But we all have things that aren't perfect about us. And that's one of mine. That's why I use it. That's why I use eyeshadow bases. Right, so this, let's see on the back, does it say? Right, so this is 4.8 grams. That's quite a lot of product. And then, right, oh yeah, 4.5. So it has just as much as, I mean, 0.3 grams less. Like I said, I started on this one. I used to use this all the time and then I didn't anymore. But I started on that one a lot quicker than I started on the Glossier Stretch Concealer. So we're just brushing the brows out now. Not doing anything phenomenal with them or anything like that. Then we'll put brow glue on, which should be in this basket. So I used to NYX the brow glue. That's that. Then contour. Let's just put my hair over here. Otherwise all kinds of makeup are going to get in it. No, not contour, sorry. Number 7. I'm trying to use this up. So it's the number 7 Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. So there is a tiny bit left in there. So let me just... Right, so I don't think I'm going to use this under the eyes. I think I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush one. So let's just put this, start on the forehead. And I'll show you the Charlotte Tilbury one in a minute, just in case you're not familiar with it. So, okay. I was going to say, where's the lid? Just the Charlotte Tilbury one really does make you look awake. And normally I just put this in the T-zone, but I want to finish it up, so... I mean, I wouldn't say that's cheating or anything, but we're so close to getting it finished. I wouldn't mind having this finished by the next time we shop my stash. I mean, you can see just how close I am to finishing that up. Right, what I'm going to do now is go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Charlotte's Beauty Soulmates Face Palette, Pillow Talk Flawless Pink, but only for the under eye. This one. So it's called the Airbrush Powder. Let's just pat out any creases. I didn't think I would use this up. When I bought it, I wasn't a lover of it. But I have been using it and it does make such a difference. Like you can see, I mean, obviously I'm 47 years old. You can see though, between that one and that one, it makes such a huge difference, I think. I know the nails still haven't been done. While I'm at my mum's, I should just take the chip nail polish off at least. It just looks remarkable. I don't know what blush I'm going to use. If I use the Charlotte Tilbury one, I'll go in with this. If I use the Dior one, I'll go in with, like, the Hourglass powders, I think. You've got to make a decision now soon, Andrea. Right, first of all, though, we're going to go in with the Sephora contour stick. Love this. Holy grail for sure, and would definitely repurchase. I mean, I'll roll it down and you can see how much I've used. It doesn't look like a lot, but considering I don't use it every day, it is a lot. I mean, I don't have a vast collection of contour sticks, but I have about 4 or 5. And I switched them up. So, yeah, they're definitely all getting used. Excuse me. It's amazing what contour and blush does to your face, isn't it? Like when you just put foundation on, you just look so blank. Like a blank canvas. I think I'm going to do the Dior blush today. I'm sure I did the Charlotte Tilbury one last time. I've asked my sister for the Dior blusher in Rosewood for Christmas. And she said she'll get it me. I said just wait for a sale. So I think she's going to wait until Black Friday. And my niece wants both the cream blush and the powder blush. Apparently she said to my sister, I like them both. Okay then. Right, so the contour's on. So for powder bronzer, I'm using the one out of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Universe. This is the second month I've been using it. You can see I finished the finishing powder and now I'm working on the bronzer. It is definitely more domed. I really wish I could zoom in with this, but it's definitely more domed than the blushers and the highlighters. I can see how flattened it's got. I think I'm going to take a picture and put it in here somewhere so you can see. When it's like that, you can see how, you know, how domed it's gotten. And I'm always going to leave it in, but next go around, next Shop My Stash, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a bronzer. And I'm also going to use that one, but they're going to be intermittently. So one day I'll use the Hourglass, the next I'll use whatever bronzer I pull for that day. Okay, so this one is called Bronzer Glistening Bronze Light, if you're interested. So this is a fairly old Hourglass palette. I don't know when it came out. I should really check that and let you guys know. I know that the new collection of Hourglass palettes are coming out so soon, and the little dear really has my heart. But I can't justify it, guys. My Jellyfish palette is practically untouched. So yeah, I've got to focus on these two palettes. Next year, if I've done well with using this palette up and I've only got the Jellyfish palette left, I probably will buy another one. Hopefully they'll bring out a giraffe. But they probably never will. You never know, do you? They brought elephants out before now, which I was going to get one that year, but I didn't have the finances for it. Just blend all this out, because they are not cheap. Again, if you're thinking about getting an Hourglass palette, I'd definitely wait for a sale. All mine have come from a sale, and I've got like more than £20 off. So yeah, I would definitely advise that. I found this brush when I was cleaning my brushes. I think I got it from Primark. It doesn't really say an awful lot. It says contour and highlight. So this one's highlight, but I'm going to use it for cream blush, I think, and just see how we get on with that. If it doesn't work well, we can always use it for highlight another time. Let's just do one bit at a time. So this shade is Rosewood that I'm using. So the Dior blusher is in the shade Rosewood. It smells heavily, to me, of spearmint. I mean, you could give me anything that smells of mint and I wouldn't like it. I don't like the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oils either, for the same reason. They smell quite badly of mint. I would say they smell worse than this blush though. Let's get some on the nose. This is going nowhere though. I spent a lot of money on this and it wasn't that long ago I got it. Not too sure of the exact day. I'll put it around here somewhere. It's well before my no-buy though. Now I look like I've been sunburnt. We'll be blending all this out with the bigger blending brush I've got anyway. Because I'm not using this, because I do want to try it as a contour. So we'll just... I could probably use a bit more of that blush. But I don't want it to get out of hand, and I am using a powder blush as well. I would say the blush on the nose has definitely gotten out of hand. I might have to go over that with a sponge. Yes, so this one, very expensive product, but it is good. And it will last a while, especially if you're like me and you've got a lot of cream blush in your collection. So, we're going to be using one from here. I was going to mix them, but I don't think I am going to. Like last time I used it, I mixed both of these blushes. I'll tell you what they're called. One's called Vibrant Heat. I know that because it's my favourite. One's called Vibrant Heat because it's my favourite. So they call them Strobe blushes. Vibrant Heat is this one. I think it'll go nicely with the blush. And then the other one is called Luminous Rose. That isn't called a strobe blush though. So that's just a normal blush apparently. We're going to go in with the Real Techniques brush. On this, you should still be able to see the glow from the Dior. Right, so that's that done. We're just going to blend out a bit. I might use the highlighter from that as well. Because it doesn't get much use just because I don't really like it, guys. See, I don't look like I've got overly blushed cheeks. I don't think that looks nice on me personally. The lighting looks like there's more on this side. There really isn't, guys. Let me just double check that. I don't want to go out with one cheek more blush than the other. No, they're the same. Right, so now we'll use the ColourPop Super Shock in Lunch Money. Just because it is ProjectPan and I'm nearly done with it. And I do a mix of this on the channel, guys. I'm using ProjectPan at the moment. All these products are from the That's Expensive ProjectPan. I do want to do more ProjectPan projects going forward. Just to use my makeup up. And because I'm not buying. I'm really starting to get hungry now. And then we will go into the Hourglass. There's always one thing you don't like, and I think for me it's the strobe powder, Supernatural Strobe Light. I'm just not a fan of it. It's not as glowy as I like. I think that's what it is. So, I mean, it looks nice when it's on, doesn't it? I think it looks better over the ColourPop. I think if I just went in like this, it wouldn't look near as good. We'll try it a different day. Right, so let's blend that out. And then we can put some of that Dalba facial mist on. That I really haven't been loving. So let's do that now. So Dalba First Base Serum Hydrated and Radiant Skin. Double layer serum enriched with white truffle from Italy. Allure from Basic. So you can see what my skin looks like now. It is pretty glowy here, but this will make it even more glowy. And I don't use too much. This is why 4 months on, I've still got that. But you can see the glow is just so much more. So let's start on the eyes now. So I've put eyeshadow base on my lids. Looks like there's quite a bit left in, but literally, guys, there's nothing coming out, so I'm going to call it done. There's not as much eyeshadow base on this lid as there is over here. So that's another empty. I'm going to put that in the tray, though, so we can at least talk about that in the description. Now we're going to go in with the Revolution Contour Palette, just for this. What I use every time I do an eyeshadow tutorial. Oh darn, I've just seen this blush and highlighter we could have used. I do want to use this palette more for the mint greens and the darker greens in it, just because we are going to be doing that green eyeshadow look today. let's get started. I'm going to go in with this one. Which one's a lighter one? Can try this one. I'm sure I used that the other day and it didn't work. But this one's a stiffer brush. Yeah, that brush is definitely stiffer. So where's my mirror? Because I want to gently build the colour up. I mean, you can see it. But like the other day when I used it, you couldn't see it. Yeah, I think we're going to have to use a slightly darker shade. But you can see it. But I think that's because of the brush. Right, and then we've got slightly darker greens, haven't we? So that one is, in my opinion, slightly darker. Like I said, I just want to build the colour up. I'm going to use the same brush just because we're working with mint greens for the moment. And again, you can't, it's not overly like pigmented. I think it's part of the age of the eyeshadows. The ColourPop eyeshadows, I don't know where they've come from. So that really doesn't help it. But also the mint greens. And mint green is never going to show up like Vavavoom. And we'll go in with this one down here. I wish I could tell you the shade names, guys. Or even the palette it came out of. I just can't. It might, like some of them have probably come from Mint to be. But don't ask me which ones. And don't ask me the names. So it's starting to show up now. And we're just going to go darker and darker. I think this one here is going to be as a liner shade. I've just dug my fingers into the silver. That was awfully clever of you, Andrea. Right, the last one then will be this green here, which is way darker than the others, you can see. Same brush. Right, so start off in the outer corner and work our way all the way across into the crease. And that is way darker, isn't it? You can tell it is. I don't know what time it is. That's the only difference between doing a longer form content video and a live stream. Live stream, it's a time up there. I think I'm going to have to stop it in a minute and just see. It was 7 o'clock when I started recording. And I didn't have more than an hour to actually get ready. So I don't want to push it for time. Okay, so that's what we're looking like so far. Let's go in with some powder. Where's the brush? Right, so I'm going to go back in with this one. Just to blend out a bit. I'm going to probably use a single eyeshadow that I don't know if I want to keep around my collection. Right, just let me check how we're doing for time. We haven't got much time, but it should be enough. It's nearly 10 to 8, so 10 minutes to actually do this and get to my mum's. Why do I always leave it like this? I thought we was doing a longer form content video. It wouldn't take as long. Right, so glitter primer. Okay, so let's get a bit of this on. Like that. Not too sure what I'm going to do for the lash line. I might not even do anything. Well, I'll try putting some of this on the lash line. So the second to darkest matte green. And we'll do a line down here. Okay, so that's that done. And when I was saying before, I'm going to probably use a shade that I really don't like. It's this one. I feel like I could quite easily pass that on. So that is from Titmouse Cosmetics and it's in the shade Sonia. It's just on a black base and I don't like black based eyeshadows. So let's put it in the outer corner. And then I've got one from Pastel Roses that we can use on the inner corner. It's just going to look like a real smoky eye, I can just tell. Might not look too bad because I've been using the mint greens. I think it would have looked possibly worse if I did a neutral eye up in the crease. Right, we're leaving this. It's not looking too bad, I don't think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're watching on Premiere, most of the time I will be there, so come and talk to me. I will not bite. Right, it's kind of got a blue shift to it as well. So it's a multi-chrome and it's like chartreuse green but also it's a very, very deep forest green. So that's why I didn't think I would like it. So that's that. And then the lighter green that I absolutely adore. So that one is in the shade Lime Twist. I should know that because I adore it so much. We're going to put on for the inner corner. So we're going to start that off here just to make it lighter. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. Look how nicer that's just made it look. I'm going to do that all over. Just take a little bit more all up here into the crease. And this is probably one of my oldest Pastel Roses shades, but it's so pretty. Much prettier than the Titmouse Cosmetics one. Now my tremors are starting to come. I don't know whether that's from lack of food. So I've not really eaten a whole bunch today. We'll put a stop to that though very soon. Let me get my brush for my inner corners. Too sure that's the right colour for the inner corner, but we've also got this one from Glam shop that might look nice. Not too sure if it will. Using this as a separate shade as well at some point. So this one's called Alternative Dimensions. If I don't like it, I can go over it with the Pastel Roses shades I've just used. Oh, but that looks nice. Doesn't it? Yeah, I'll definitely be using this by itself. I want to use them all at least one time by themselves. And then next Shop My Stash, we will be pulling out some different eyeshadows, some different singles. And I don't do that, so I have nothing to do with that. It's actually Tiny Decisions that pull it out. I'm just going to blend it out a little bit up at the top. Wow, I actually really like this look today, guys. I hope you do too. But please let me know your thoughts. It will probably be a bit too much for some people, but for me it's not. Next time I use this palette though, I'm going to use the blush and the highlight. I don't know when I'm going to be next using the palette, but I will use it. So now we're going to go in with the Essence of False Lashes mascara. So it looks like that. And then I'm just going to use a very clear gloss, I think. Just because we can't go too mad, can we? I might use that e.l.f. Glow Reviver one. Right, so that's that side done. And here, start the tremors again. Okay, let me go and find a lip gloss to use. was actually looking for the e.l.f. Crystal Bowler shade. I don't have it to hand anyway. It must be in one of my other lipstick drawers. I need to put all the lip glosses together, which I don't really have a lot of lip glosses. And then I know where they are. Anyway, we'll go in with this one. I know it looks very pink in the tube. I know it looks very pink, but it's not. In quotes, sorry. It's just like your lips but better. Can you see how there's just nothing there? You could make it more pigmented by doing a lip liner combo. It would go really, really nice as well. But I obviously don't want to do that today with my eyes being as green as they are. So this is the look, guys. Loves it. Thank you for joining me today. If you've not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. Please like, share and comment, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.